today we are going to talk about the chapter decimals, right? So in this decimal chapter, we are going to talk about the numbers which we can write after the whole numbers, which means something like this: 10.652, something like this, right? So here, this dot is called as the decimal point, right? And these are the decimal places, right? So these numbers are the decimal places, right? Here, decimal numbers are always related to some kind of fractions, right? So we have learned about the fractions. Now we are going to learn how we are going to convert fractions into decimals, right? So as an example, uh, we can convert 32.5, right? 32.5 into some kind of a fraction, right? So here we are going to talk about these things, right? So the next thing what I'm going to consider here is I'm going to take a fraction 3/10, right? So you can see that the denominator is a multiple of 10, right? So I can take 3/100, 3/1000, 3/10,000. So those are called as the multiples of hundreds, right? Here, as you can see, for the number 10, there is only one zero here, right? One zero here. Then it means the decimal point is here. Then if we have one zero in the denominator, that decimal points jump 1 unit to your left hand side. Then it will become 0.3, right? It will become 0.3, but we can't keep this decimal point, right, in front of a number. So there must be a number, right? So if there isn't any kind of a number, so we have to add 0.3. We can't leave this one as 0.3, right? We can say 0.3, but we can't leave the number as 0.3, right? This is incorrect. So we have to always put a number before the decimal point, right? Right. So another example I am taking here, right? I will take 7/10, right? Here also, the denominator is a multiple of 10 and we have one zero in the denominator, which means the decimal point is here at start. But as we have one zero here, we have to move 1 unit to the left hand side. Then it will become 0.7 because there is no number to be put in front of that decimal point. So we are putting a zero, right? Right. Another one, 9/10, right? So then it will become 10 is there, right? Decimal point is here. Then it will become 0.9, right? The next type of example that I'm going to take, 13/10. So this is an improper fraction. So we are not going to convert into a mixed fraction. Instead of converting into a mixed fraction, I am going to convert it into a decimal number. So how I am going to do that? 0 is here, right? So 10 means this decimal point has to be moved up to 1 unit, which means it is in the middle of the 1 and 3, which means 1.3, right? Now I think that you could understand these examples easily, right? So I am taking another one, the last one, 17/10. Then it will become 10 is there in the denominator. Then the decimal point is here. So if it is 10, we are going to move it to 1 unit to the left hand side. Then it will become 1.7, right? So here These 5 examples are about the denominator which has 10, right? The number 10, right? Then now I am going to talk about the denominator which has the number as 100, right? So if I take something like 27 over 100, then I can make it as an decimal number like this. So here there are two zeros, which mean that decimal point has to be moved 2 units to the left hand side. 1, 2, right? So here 0.27. There is no number in front of this decimal point. So we are going to put 0, right? Another one, 38 over 100. Then two zeros. Then we have to move this decimal point up to 2 units to the left hand side. Then here, that means 0.38. As we do not have any kind of a number in front of that decimal point, we are going to put 0, 0.38, right? So the way of pronouncing these numbers, right? First, we are going to say this number 0. Then this point we are going to pronounce this at the point, right? 0.27, 0.38. Likewise, we are going to pronounce it. So here, I think that now you could understand what's going on with this decimal numbers and how to convert the fractions which has the denominator as multiple of 10. Multiple of 10 means 10, 100, 1000. These are called as the multiple of 10, right? So multiples of 10 can be obtained by multiplying 10 by 10, then again 10 into 10 into 10, then again 10 into 10 into 10 into 10. Likewise, you can obtain the multiples of 10, right? So here, what we are going to do now, we are going to, right? So the introduction was done, right? So we are going to consider about the place value and about the decimal point, right? Right. So we will take 0.5, right? So the decimal point is here. You can see that. Then so then the whole number is here, right? It is from left to the side from the decimal point, and the decimal number is right to the side from the decimal point, right? So here ones place here, and digit in the ones place is 0, right? So first decimal place is here, then digit in the first decimal place is 5, right? Likewise, I will take another example. Decimal point is here, right? First decimal place 6, that the digit is 6. Second decimal place, the digit is 7, right? So ones place, the digit is 9. Tens place, the digit is what? 1, right? So likewise, we can consider about the digit in the relevant place, right? So 1 place, 10 place, 100 place. So likewise, you can go on in this direction, and from this direction, first decimal place, second decimal place, third, from the right hand side to the decimal point, it will become as first decimal place, second decimal. From left hand side to the decimal point, uh, we can take as the place values and the digit numbers as we learned in the previous lessons, right? So ones place, tens place, likewise we can take. Thing I am going to discuss, right? How to present a decimal number on an abacus, right? So right here, I will use this picture to describe you. about presenting a number in the abacus, right? Right here, and I'm going to take the previous example also, right? 0.2 examples, then you can understand what's going on here, right? So 19.67, right? So in the earlier topic, we discussed about presenting, right? Presenting a decimal number in the normal way, right? 19.67. So here, this is the first decimal and the second decimal, which means, right? So it is the 10th place, right? So it is the 10th place. So first we are going to start it with the 10th place, because the reason is, if I take these three numbers, 996 divided by 10, then what will happen? It will, that decimal point will move up to 1 unit, then it will become 19.6, right? So it means that if we divide the number, a given number with 10, then it will automatically change the decimal point 1 unit to the left hand side, right? So that means we can take that this place value, right? This place value as tens. So if I take 1967, right? In this one, I only consider about these three numbers, right? So here, if I divide it by 100, then I will take these two numbers also, this last number also. Then what will happen? You can see that if I divide it by 100, then what will happen? This decimal place will move to 2 units to the left hand side, right? So then 19.67, right? 19.67. We can't say 19.67. We have to, after the decimal point, right? We have to start saying the numbers separately. 19.67. You can't say 19.67. That's completely wrong, right? 19.67, right? So here, if I divide by 100, right, then only the decimal point which was here can move up to this place. So it means this is the 100th place, right? I think you could understand it very well, right? So 100th place is here, right? So ones place, so in 0.27, ones place, tens and hundreds. So here also in 19, if it is 19, then the tens place is 1, ones place is 9. From that decimal point, we are going to say it as tens, hundreds, likewise, right? So it's very easy to present a decimal number on an abacus, right? It's very easy, right? The only thing you have to keep it in your mind is, after the decimal point to the right hand side, you are going to start with tens, then hundreds, right? Likewise, thousands, right? So that's the way of representing a decimal number on an abacus.